It is my return journey from a tutoring client. You can see the outward journey featured on the card. Having spent an hour exploring maths, science and English with my student, I'm heading home. This was one of my least favourite commutes because it's almost all on the roads. But in fact, since making this video, I've found an alternate route, and although it's 5 minutes longer, it's infinitely nicer, so there'll be a video on that one soon. This is the first section on a cycle track, and it does take out the nasty roundabout, although you do have to go a little bit around the houses to get there. This cycle path is tricky because of concealed corners. You can't see what's around them, and it's shared with pedestrians, so you have to be a bit careful. Even though this is the second worst commute that I do or did, it's still better than driving. The experience is still somewhat spiritual. It's stressful as well, but the mixture of repetitious exercise, mild cardiovascular workout, being out in the open, engaging with the environment and the people in it is a positive experience. And in this case, it's a walk down memory lane. My primary school is behind me and to the right. The pub where my brother did most of his teenage drinking is behind me to the left. I had a friend who lived down here, and I used to live in a house which is in front of me and to the right. So it resonates. In fact, the house I was born at or in is down on the left. In about 5 minutes time. This road, called London Road, has a number of features that make it more dangerous than most, and not least of those are these parking bays on the left. Of course, they're parking bays, they're not for cycling in, but as I'm doing here, if you don't cycle in them, you're perceived to be cycling in the middle of the road, and a lot of motorists don't like that. They see that you're blocking their overtaking possibilities, and they become angry and take dangerous risks. Cycling into opening car doors is another big problem along here, especially in a little while. These central bollards are another problem. Motorists don't judge very well whether or not they've got time to get past you, and also to the left of the bollards, and sometimes the tight squeeze is very dangerous and unpleasant. The third issue with this road is that it's very busy because of the position it occupies, and it's not very large. It's residential, it's got shops, so that's another dangerous combination. However, this clip illustrates one of the massive benefits of cycling, even in an urban setting. I mean, these cars are stopped at an incredibly long line for the traffic lights, and I'm not just whipping past it. This is why it's almost always faster on a bike than it is in traffic, and it does feel good, you know, as you jump the queue legitimately. Not because you're doing motorists down, just because you're doing much better than they are because you're on a bike. Now here's a situation I'd appreciate your opinion on. I'm going to go straight on, but I'm in the left turn lane because to be in the straight on lane would obstruct motorists who are there. This way they can get past me. The danger is that cars in the left turn lane may do me injury if they turn left and I don't turn left. So my approach is look behind me, see that there's no cars in the left turn lane, and then take the centre of the left turn lane, and then as I merge with the traffic going straight on, just look behind me and try to make my intentions clear and be very vigilant. So that's how I do it, and I'm going to do it again in a minute at this roundabout. What do you think? How do you do it? This is another dangerous section of the journey. I'm in a bus lane, which is of course legal, but I need to cross 2 lanes in order to get into the lane I want to get into just past this junction. And that's very difficult to do because this complex, which is called the Kingsway, is very, very busy and the traffic is always gnarly and aggressive. So I'm moving over one of the lanes, but I'm still in a lane that turns left and I don't want to turn left. So my approach, as you saw, is to take the middle of the left turn lane so that no left turning traffic can overtake me, and then merge into the right, looking behind me very carefully. This is a dreadful piece of road surface, needs replacing, and this is quite dangerous because cyclists tend to avoid it rather than risk snapping a spoke or a vertebrae, and in that erratic movement they sometimes make themselves vulnerable. This is another stretch of road which is dangerous, largely because the traffic is aggressive and angry. Look at the congestion. People are fed up. They're not in a happy place. And any obstacles are an annoyance to them, which I completely understand. But they tend to drive slightly more aggressively and dangerously, and that's a problem. That right there is another dangerous pinch point, and there used to be a dreadful pothole at the very apex of it, which they've just repaired recently. And here's the last miserable pinch point, this notch in the curb here. The number of cars that try to rip past you there is way too many. Anyway, that's that. We're back into placid land. This is not too shabby a way to end a commute, is it? Okay, that'll do us for this time. I welcome your comments. If you found the video helpful or interesting, please click the like button. It doesn't cost you anything and it really does help the channel, which doesn't really help me worth a damn at the moment. Thanks for watching. By all means subscribe for more like this, and see you next time.